Flight Sports TV, man. That's my dude. I rolls with him.
You heard what the man said. It's Flight Sports TV.
Flight Sports TV, that's where it's at.
Flight Sports TV.
What's going on, people? It's Flight Sports TV. I appreciate y'all for checking with me. I already know what it is. We're back with another one of them things. We got a lot of things to talk about tonight. We had a massive brawl. We still waiting on the ramifications of what the hell just happened. We still haven't gotten word on the suspensions, the length, and everything. But we're gonna break things down. We done had so many people that gave their opinions. We got press conferences, so much shit to break down, leading up to the inevitable suspensions that I see handed down. Trust me, these suspensions will be handed out sometime tomorrow. Adam Silver is working around the clock. I hope the Charlotte Hornets don't get hit up too bad, but something tells me we're going to be down 2 starters for a little while. But if you're the Detroit Pistons, you got to be thinking a little bit differently. The NBA need to come down on Mr. Isaiah Stewart. We just got to keep it 100 with you. The man left the bench. You know, that was completely unacceptable. We had Charles Lee get into it. The Detroit Pistons, I'm going to keep 100 with you. Like I said, they was getting away with a lot yesterday. We heard Dex say before, tempers flared, that they allowing Detroit to get away with it all. They allow certain teams to play a physical brand of basketball. Detroit was just pushing people, shoving people, just doing whatever the hell they wanted. And then before you know it, Diabate got into it with Jalen Duren. As I did some of my homework, on this whole situation with Jalen Duren and all these people, I started to come to find out that Jalen Duren and Diabate, these guys got a lengthy history, dating back to high school. These two people know each other. I thought that was one of the most craziest things, to say the least, that these two have a history. This is not their first rodeo, so they know each other. Now, as I'm evaluating what's happening, coming from the high school circuit, these two have faced each other. So as I'm looking at it, Diabate went to IMG. Duren went to Montverde. We all know that legendary high school that a lot of people have went to. These two have got history dating back to there. As I did my homework. Now, I'm gonna keep it real with you. I was listening to JB Bickerstaff, because I think this guy JB Bickerstaff for the Detroit Pistons, their head coach, he is he's not he's somebody in this. I believe that JB Bickerstaff is a culprit in all of this. He's allowing some of this to take place. When I was hearing him speak, he didn't seem like a coach who was too interested in his players, being suspended. You should hear some of this, y'all. It's Flight Sports TV.
Again, I repeat, we don't want to see it get to that point. But when you go back and watch the film, they ran multiple guys at JD. JD and Stu consider themselves to be brothers. And if you run 2 guys at one guy and, you've already crossed the line, human instinct tells him to protect his little brother. Again, I hate to see it again, but that's the nature of what happened. So, I hate it for Stu. because of the things that are going to follow. But, again, we weren't the ones that crossed the line tonight and initiated this. And
I just thought that was completely egregious as I was listening to JB Bickerstaff. He stated that they weren't the guys who crossed the line, and then he even went as far as to say that Stewart and Duran, they looked at as brothers. You know, I mean, this is just crazy. I mean, punches was thrown. I mean, it got out of control. You got a guy running from the bench. I mean, this guy Bickerstaff is basically condoning his guy. That's what I'm saying. They need to find Bickerstaff too. I mean, this is just crazy. I believe that he enticed all of this shit. As I was looking at, I'm not. I mean, this guy was about it. I'm keep 100 with you. You see what happened with Charles Lee. He was actually running around holding people, doing all kind of shit. Bickerstaff was a little slow to the party. I was looking at Bickerstaff walking up when shit. He was walking a little bit in slow motion. You see Charles Lee running, grabbing, screaming, and yelling, and all kind of shit. Nobody got suspended just yet. But suspensions will be handed down. You better believe that. The Charlotte Hornets, they got to bounce back after this. It's crazy. Suspensions is coming. They are not going to allow these guys. Let's listen to what Bickerstaff just said. If y'all missed that right there, man. JB Bickerstaff has spoken.
Guys, it another way, obviously. I see it another way. And I mean, you see it one way. I see it another way. Obviously, again, I repeat, we don't want to see it get to that point. But when you go back and watch the film, they ran multiple guys at JD. JD and Stu consider themselves to be brothers. And if you run two guys at one guy
But number one, the line was crossed when Jalen Duran literally put his face, put his hand all in the face of Musa Diabate. That's how things took it to another level. I believe that prior to that slap, mush, whatever the hell you want to call it, you seeing two guys literally just bump heads, pause, and they just get separated. After the mush, it took things to the next level. Then people had to be separated. Even there were no punches even thrown, when they end up, like I said, these guys was on the floor. We got to keep it real with you. I understand what JB Bickerstaff is trying to insinuate. He's trying to protect his players too, but he did acknowledge that he feels bad for Stewart. Like I said, I believe that Stewart is gone for at least 10, 20. And keep 100 with you. It's just going to be at least 10 to 20 games before we see Stewart. I think that the Detroit Pistons could slip in the standings. How can they really, you got to think about it. Diabate and Duran, the situation escalated when this mush and the slap occurred. Hopefully the NBA takes that into consideration. As I'm looking at it, I believe the Hornets were the victims. And I'm not saying this shit just because it sounds good. I'm telling you, the Hornets was victimized in this whole altercation. Thank God Lamelo Ball was not involved in none of this. They're killing Duncan Robinson right about now. Duncan Robinson chose to walk the hell off, in the midst of all of this. He wasn't even paying the shit no attention. Con Knipple even got his ass out there and got in the mix. So we got to give credit to the rookie. He stated that he knew Diabate wouldn't assault him. But like I said, Musa was on another type of time, and last night. And the Hornets, they have been establishing culture. A lot of people are not going to acknowledge that. We hear this thing coming around that Jeff Peterson talks about Hornets DNA. The culture and all of this and that. They winning games. You can't allow somebody to come here and slap you on your home floor and just beat you down, because that's what Detroit was trying to do to them. They was beating them the hell down. That point blank. That's what was occurring. It was a straight up beat down. But the Hornets was, staying close and all of it. Even at the last second, they damn near had an opportunity to win this game, despite Cade Cunningham going off for whatever the hell he did. Cade Cunningham was hell bent to make sure that Lamelo didn't outplay him. Lamelo didn't go for 30 plus. I believe if Lamelo went for 30 plus, we're looking at another outcome in this game. I can't wait till we see these two teams play again. This very well could be a first round matchup, especially the way things is flowing. As I'm looking at the Eastern Conference, the Hornets, Scott says the Hornets back to losing. I slightly disagree with that, and I'm gonna give you reasons why it may not be even that serious if the Hornets do go on a slide. There's in turn, if I'm as I'm evaluating the Eastern Conference, listen, some of these teams they ready to bottom out. So I think the Hornets might make the NBA playoffs or the play in by default. As I'm evaluating the standings, the top 10 seeds in the Eastern Conference, dare I say, is damn near going to get edged in stone quicker than I think we all are believing. The Chicago Bulls, they're 24-30. The Bucks are 21-30. Right? The Hornets really have to deal with the Bulls and the Bucks. The Nets, Wizards, and Pacers, they already punted their season. It's over with. Um, the Bucks, to me, I think that they're 1 foot in from just shutting it all the way down. Does it even make sense for the Milwaukee Bucks to be competitive? This is why I'm telling you that the Charlotte Hornets could very well make the postseason by default, as I'm evaluating the standings. So just because if the Hornets lose a game here, whatever due to that, that's not going to just erase them from the picture. I believe that they may go back and forth. They very well could move up into the 9th seed headed into this next game against Atlanta. So I think the Hornets know the ramifications. You're going to get an extra dose of Lamelo Ball. Lamelo Ball will be needed more than ever without, 2 of your starters. It's Melo time now, along with the rest of his guys. But we're going to see it firsthand. Tomorrow's game is going to be a good one. Make sure you buckle up, hit the bell on the icon because we're going to be giving you nothing but nonstop news and updates. Now I got my man All Access with me, Dex. What's the deal? It's Flight Sports TV. We got breaking news. What's your thoughts? This breakdown. What the hell happened? It's Flight Sports.
Yes, sir. Shout out to Flight Sports TV, the machine, the voice of the voiceless, the people's champ, the hottest in the street. Shout out to the panel and its premium peak. And shout out to the chat and all of its cacophony spewing out of the cracks and crevices of Flight Sports Block. And no doubt, big ups to everybody pulling up to Flight Sports TV. Please hit that like button. Please hit the subscribe. If you have yet to subscribe, be a part of something outside of yourself. Subscribe to Flight Sports TV and hit the notification bell so you won't miss one iota of an exuberant experience. Flight, it is incredible of what's going on in the Hive. Buzz City is buzzing. It seemed like Charlotte lost a opportunity to win 10 in a row. Detroit have snapped 2 win streaks. Now, I believe the Oklahoma City Thunder has the longest current win streak in the NBA. But the Detroit Pistons, at night. But the Detroit Pistons, Flight, did the damage, and the residue is still smeared at the spectrum. But it seemed like a moral victory for the Charlotte Hornets. I mean, for crying out loud, nobody's upset that the Charlotte Hornets lost to the Detroit Pistons and lost their win streak. You wake up in the morning and you see the Charlotte Hornets is the 10th seed. With all of the melee, the fracas, the debacle, and altercation that happened yesterday that has garnered the super attention of the sports world in that brawl at the Spectrum Center with the Broad Street Bullies, the Detroit Pistons, the new iteration of bad boy basketball up in D-Town or Motown. Let me tell you, Flight, nobody's mad at the Charlotte Hornets for losing. Nobody's sad. It seemed like there's glee in the air. Brandon Miller sit there and stated after being questioned, Flight, about the debacle, about the behavior of multiple NBA players and coaches from both of the aisle. When asked the question, how did he feel about the fight, the altercation? He said he felt good about it. Can you imagine that? He said he felt good about it. There was no sorrow. So Brandon, not only did he take the high road and not besmirch or smear the accomplishment of the Detroit Pistons coming into the Spectrum Center, the Hive, and shaking it up a bit, almost trying to bring the Charlotte Hornets back down to normality when the Charlotte Hornets has been soaring high and buzzing in the atmosphere. They couldn't do it. Detroit could not do that flight because the Charlotte Hornets fought back. There's nobody is saying that the Charlotte Hornets cowered to the Detroit Pistons. It's the polar opposite. The Charlotte Hornets stood firm. They stood in their steed, and the Detroit Pistons just happened to be a better physical team. But now the Charlotte Hornets withstood that flight. And now the Charlotte Hornets is prepared to maintain the 10th seed and even gain more ground as they move forward into the second half of the season, Blake.
Great call, great call. We're gonna get into what Charles Lee had to say, but we're gonna shout out to the Pope. Shout out to the Pope, B. Frank. What's the deal, Pope? You see what's going on. What's your thoughts on this big brawl that took place, leading up to like 4 players looking to get suspended? I mean, it was a mess. Thank God Lamelo wasn't involved. I think if they would have did Lamelo like that, everybody would have cleared the bench. What's your thoughts on what you've seen? You know, give your breakdown. What the hell is going on?
Shout out to you, Flight. Shout out to Dex and the chat. Uh, my thoughts, man, was Moose was in his right to do what he did and react how he reacted, right? Uh, but Miles Bridges, he killing us. I think he took that chance to be a degenerate like he likes to be. That's what it told me because he didn't have no dog in the fight. It was a 1-on-1. Wasn't nobody on the Detroit Pistons uh trying to attack Moose, and Moose already was about to handle it, and Bridges pushed Durant, and which is cool. Okay, I don't even have a problem with that. You pushed him back because they was holding Moose, and you pushed Durant. But then for you to follow him around and then continue saying something when you see all these people out here to break it up. Then be the softest niggas when niggas act tough when they know everybody's around to break it up. when he know everybody's around to break it up. And when Beef Stew came at him, you know, he ducked and tried to do WWC moves instead of staying his toes, and he ducked that swing. That's a scary. If a nigga can duck that swing like that, that's a scary, Mary ass nigga.
I want to bring something up. I want you to continue, but Miles Bridges actually responded to what happened. You know, I don't know if you've seen what Miles Bridges said. He said basically that he wasn't trying to box for real, and he was pulling hair and shit like that. But I did evaluate what you've seen when he did rush in out of nowhere. You know, he did great. He was throwing some punches. This guy was throwing punches. You know, Stewart was hit. It looked like he was hitting Miles Bridges in the back of the head, the back. It was looking. It was real fast. But I did see Miles Bridges duck down, though. You know, I did. You are right. You know, it was crazy. But Miles was in there. You know, it was crazy to say the least. It
But
was.
that's the thing. He didn't need to be in there. He just got himself suspended when he didn't have to do that. And I don't even think the Moose would have got suspended. And I don't if Bridges don't do what he did, he wouldn't have even got ejected. So to me, he played it so stupidly. Because again, we 10th seed and we have a way of working ourselves up. We got Atlanta Hawks coming up. So that us beating Detroit Pistons, I think we would have went over top of them, and then you beat them. You got too much ground to climb. If I said that right, you got too much of a ladder to climb, an uphill battle for you to be on degenerate shit. And that just told me he still think he a thug because it really, really fly. Look at it. Durant got smushed. I mean, Moose got smushed. He went crazy. Now, Miles pushed them. That wouldn't have got him suspended nor ejected for just pushing Durant back. It was the after all of the bullshit and still going after Durant, and then getting into it, of course, with Beef Stew. He had to kind of protect himself, but he put himself in that line of fire. And I think he was pump faking. Like I said, he wasn't trying to fight. He knew everybody was around to break it up. And Beef Stew came at him so fast, gave him a swing, he ducked it, and then he immediately trying to grab him around the waist and tackle instead of standing toes and swing back. No, he was getting pop, 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 So he really took himself out of the game, which we already losing Debate. If we would have been able to still keep Miles out there, we had action at not only winning that game, but still keeping him around from not being suspended just in case Debate does get suspended.
I agree with what you're saying, man, because the Hornets, they probably can't afford all of this, especially Miles Bridges. Maybe I think, like I said, I think the both teams may suffer a little bit. This depending on what happens with the Pistons, they could fall out the number one seed behind something like this. You got teams on your heels. Durant is important. Isaiah Stewart going to be out for a very long time. So I mean, I'm just saying, the Hornets without Miles, this thing could get nasty. Miles was balling. You are right, Miles. That's why the NBA is going to have to look into it because it just taking it from the outside looking in, no Hornets, no love, nothing. It was an escalation of events that occurred. It started with two people. We probably don't even get the Beef Stew if Miles Bridges didn't push back. We heard Bickerstaff say they wasn't the aggressors here. They ran multiple guys at Jalen Duren. He's trying to say that multiple people rushed Jalen Duren in the middle of that altercation. That's what led to, all of the shit that happened. That's what the Pistons is saying. So I mean, maybe you could evaluate. That's why the NBA gonna have to look at everybody who was the extra add-ons to the problem because that led to the big shit. So I could see the NBA coming down on Miles, Beef Stew, of course. Those two could they might get hit up for real.
Yeah.
But, go ahead. But I think Stewart is the most fucked up, in my opinion. Do you agree with that or what? He ran off the bench.
He's the most dumbest, correct? I can't stand him, but at the same time, yeah, if you're trying to attack my boy, but yeah, he didn't need to do that. That was unnecessary too. Super degenerate shit. And for Miles to even go over there and antagonize the situation even further when he didn't have to do that. It just told me like, bro, you just like, oh, you a basketball player, Miles. You're not a thug. Okay? And the Moose was in well of his right to be trying to attack. You smushed me in my face. Yeah, I'm trying to get you, sir. And he wasn't able to get him. So I think he would have been able to dodge suspensions. But then Miles made it escalate to where now the league got to look at we definitely got to suspend Miles because he got a history. We definitely damn sure going to suspend Stewart because he's just an idiot all the time. All the time. So,
Yeah, I agree with you, man. We're going to find out about what happened. What about Charles Lee? He stuck his nose in the middle of this. Did you see when Charles Lee got ejected?
No.
Oh man, that was something else. Like I said, Charles Lee went off. It was something else. Dex, I want to get before we get to Charles Lee. Before you got here, I said that you brought up an excellent point yesterday before the big brawl happened. You said that the Detroit Pistons are getting away with murder. You know, they are allowing the Detroit to play a certain brand of basketball, how they was pushing and shoving and all kind of that shit. Don't you think that led up to the big brawl that happened? You know, all of the physicality that was getting overlooked. Talk to me.
No doubt, Flight, because this has also led to Charles Lee ejection because the things were mounting up against Charlotte, and the referees officiating seemed to be very impartial and benefiting the Detroit Pistons. We know the Detroit Pistons have a certain brand of basketball we have become accustomed to. It's their legacy, it's their history, it's the reason why they won back-to-back championships in the era of Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. And then they won a championship outside of that with the Chauncey Billups and Tayshaun Prince and, all those guys too, Ben Wallace and those guys, that iteration of Bad Boys basketball. So now they're in a continuance after the Detroit Pistons have been piss poor and was known as the Detroit Pistonless. You can't say that anymore. So with the new head coach after the failure of Monty Williams, Ernie Bickerstaff Jr. and his failed tenure with the Cleveland Cavaliers have brought a brand of basketball that a lot of this young generation is not accustomed to. So the physicality that is going on is only allowed by a certain teams that's in the NBA. They're not going to allow everybody to play like this, but they allow certain teams to play like this in order to keep some kind of a balance, because there's an over finessing of basketball that's being displayed night in and night out with all of the super 3-point attempt shooting teams. It's taken away a lot of the meaningfulness and the stratagems and skill that happens inside of the arc. And I'm glad that Adam Silver is allowing some of this to come back. Now, with the Charlotte Hornets reacting the way they did, it's because I don't think they was expecting Detroit to be like this. They know the Detroit Pistons are physical, but it seemed like Detroit have been physical for certain amounts of time. Well, certain portions of the game playing Charlotte, because Charlotte have been known to yield and surrender games prematurely based on physicality. This time they didn't, but Detroit didn't let up. They kept it going and kept it going. So it was frustrating for Charlotte. It was irritating for Charlotte. They became agonized, and then they blew their lids. They couldn't hold up to that kind of presence from a team where the Charlotte Hornets was garnering a lot of attention. Let's keep it 100. They was getting a lot of attention in this win streak, especially after they won 6 in a row. Detroit Pistons, they demolished the New York Knicks to kill their win streak. They didn't demolish the Charlotte Hornets, but they kind of beat them down, Flight. They kind of beat the Charlotte Hornets down, even though the Charlotte Hornets fought back diligently, but they came up short, and it just seemed like a moral victory. So the fight that happened within that game, the Charlotte Hornets fan base is somewhat satisfied that the Charlotte Hornets stood up for themselves, and that Charles Lee, out of all people, the happy clapper, went in with passion and known that he could get ejected in a game that was somewhat winnable. The Charlotte Hornets locker room was somewhat satisfied with Charles Lee standing up for him, because who has been standing up for the Charlotte Hornets in the past 4 years?
But when did he get ejected? Because I didn't. Was that later in the game? Because I kind of
later in the game. Yeah, after the brawl.
for what? What was his? What was?
There was a call against Grant Williams, who was victimized by a flop. And it was such a ticky-tack call with all the physicality going on in the game. Charles Lee just blew his lid, and it was just prophylactic, lava flow. He just couldn't hold back, and he just erupted. And he charged the referee, and they had to hold him back. And it was just an aberration of his character, because we already know that Charles Lee seemed to be cool, calm, and collected, and on code for being a black coach in the South. He was definitely has been uncode, but he was decoded when he attempted to charge the referee and kind of berated the referee and charged the referee for being impartial against his team when they was at home and on a winning streak, and he just couldn't take anymore.
Yeah, go ahead, Fly.
No, you good. Go ahead. I'm about to say something else after that.
Well, because I didn't see it, but from what Dex just said, sounds like Charles Lee is acting like a degenerate too. Because I mean, you want to listen. They call it ticky tack foul. That's cool. The game is already heated. It starts. So now the refs have to try to reel it back in. You, you being the coach, you got to understand these situations. You already supposed to like, yo, you should want the refs to let's call the game a little tighter because they wasn't at first. And that's kind of what led to the brawl. Because I seen when Isaiah Stewart first entered the game, he grabbed Grant Williams and kind of like threw him on a free throw when it was somebody was shooting a free throw. And they was going to get the rebound. And Isaiah Stewart grabbed Grant and tried to throw him down, but Grant didn't allow that. And they ended up calling that foul. But right then and there, it was, you could see where the game was going. So it's up to the refs, especially after a situation like that, to now, hey, yeah, we got to keep it tight now. So if a motherfucker flop, I mean, then if they didn't catch that he flopped and they just see somebody flailing back, we got to blow that just in case it wasn't a flop. So Charles Lee, come on, homie, you the coach, and your team. And was the game close at the time?
I think the game was close neck and neck until after all hell broke loose. Pistons started pulling away a little bit, but then Charlotte ended up.
No, Charlotte was
bringing it
down.
back.
Charlotte was down double digits. I think it was down like 13.
What, when all hell broke loose?
No, when
No, when
Charles
he
Lee
got
ejected.
ejected.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's the you are
So
right
it
about
was, you know, you could look at it like, okay, this is the time for me to get thrown out. It don't look like we're going to pull this one out. And fortunately for the sideline and the assistant coaches, they got the game down to 4 with the ball. Charlotte was down 4 after Charles Lee was thrown out when Detroit Pistons was up double digits, and it seemed like they was getting ready to run the Hornets out of the gym. So they was down 4 and with the ball, and that was the closest they got in the second half.
Shout out to Chief Bartram in the chat. Salute to all y'all that's in the building. Shout out to Thunder, Chuck Morris.
Pope, you want to address Thunder?
Yeah, Pope.
I say disagree is in a heated moment. Yeah, no, that's called you being a professional. You do think about those things, and it's not just even about the winning, but for Miles Bridges, right? He's not really involved. He's not involved on a simple fact. It's a mano y mano, and Debate was getting held back. It's not. I can see if somebody else ran up on Debate from the Pistons, and then Miles like, bro, watch out. But that's not the case. You inserted yourself in some mess that you didn't have to. It was what you see nobody else from the Hornets. Melo didn't insert himself. Don Knipple didn't insert himself. Mr. Take the Pistol to his homeboy, Brandon Miller didn't insert himself. So why do you got to insert yourself? You did, because again, I'm fine with the push, the initial push after he smushed Moose's face and everybody started holding Moose back and immediately Miles Bridges pushed Durant away. I'm fine with that. After that, you got to know to relax. And he just took it extra. Like, look at me. I'm about to go viral. And again, you cost your team, you cost yourself.
Yeah, you right about that, man. This
But
gonna be
but Pope,
something else.
we have seen some of the best coaches lose it in games in moments of games that was pretty suspicious at times. And some teams bounce back when their coach are gone, and some teams just fall apart. And I'm just glad that the Charlotte Hornets didn't fall apart, despite what went on with the fracas and Charles Lee being ejected. Because we don't seen enough basketball where we've seen some pretty calm coaches just lose their helmet.
You
Yeah,
right
you
about
can't
that.
do that. You ain't gonna see the top. But I get it. He young. He young. He new coach. I guess he maybe felt like this is how his players is gonna respect him for having a back. But it to me it sounded unnecessary. You try to attack the ref off of him making a call that the game is already about to be over with. Now it's not like it's like it serves no purpose. If you wouldn't lost your shit, it should have been before all of this led up to that. Like lose your shit when Isaiah Stewart grabbed Grant Williams and tried to slang him, and the refs didn't call a tech or something like lose your get it. I I know when to get techs for my teams. I know how not to. I know how when to cross that line, bro. Or it's a thin line. I'm not gonna get myself taken out of the game, uh, kicked out of the game. But I know if I need to set a tone or something like that, make a statement by getting on the ref's ass about something that was egregious, and he could have stopped it, and they didn't. Then cool. But all of that heated moment since that brawl. Okay, now the refs gotta call it tight, or do you want another brawl? Shout out coffee to the world. Hey, you on mute, flight?
Oh, my bad. Shout out coffee to the world. I want to give a little bit of some word on what Charles Lee had to say about the situation. Let's hear what he had to say fresh off of this big brawl with him being ejected in the middle of it too.
Charles, obviously a very emotional, very physical game. Just overall, now that the dust has kind of settled a little bit, just how do you think this one, just the direction, how everything played out at the end of this one?
Yeah, this was a freaking great game for us. Phenomenal opportunity for us to play. The top seed right now, or the number one team in the East, team that's been in the playoff. They've been tested. They bring a level of physicality and competitiveness to them, and I think they bring out the best in you. And I think that overall, our guys responded to every run that they went on, all the physicality, and so I think we got a lot better tonight. Result won't reflect that, but again, I thought our process and for most of the night, our competitive spirit, our togetherness was really good.
What did you see from your perspective and the fight where the ejections happened?
Yeah, I'll have to go back and watch it again. Just looked like, ton of physicality, and two guys kind of got in a heated conversation, and then it kind of spiraled from there.
And for you to get ejected, what was the reason for that?
Yeah, I take ownership of it. I thought that we were competing our tails off. I thought that it was a very physical game, and Grant's walking down the paint and barely touched somebody, and the guy fell over, and that's what we're going to call a foul. So, again, they have a hard job to have to make these calls, but I don't think that was like the consistency of what had been called the rest of the game.
Felt like a move of solidarity there almost with that, standing up for your team with the calls that you mentioned maybe not have been going your way. Can you just talk about maybe it hitting the boiling point at a certain point and how you kind of reacted to that?
Yeah, I got to have a little bit better emotional control in that moment. But these guys, I just love everything that they brought tonight from a competitive spirit. I thought we did a ton of really good things and we got better. And, this was a really good game for us.
like a physical playoff atmosphere. The crowd was rocking for the majority of it. What did you learn about your team in the 48 minutes they played tonight?
Yeah, just learned about the type of consistent competitors that they are. It wasn't always pretty. We had 21 turnovers, and we did definitely talk about we want to take better care of the ball going into this game. But I thought last time we played this team, we didn't have a great offensive output, but we got better from that night. I think tonight we responded to that challenge, and I think that we'll be better from tonight's game as well.
Focusing on more the basketball side, it felt like you guys did a great job of running Duncan Robinson off the three-point line in that first quarter and kind of limiting them. What did you see from the defensive standpoint in this game?
Yeah, man, I saw like a bunch of our guys just really, crawling into the offensive players and trying to like refuse to be screened. I thought for the most part, we made it tough on Cunningham to see that they went 5 for 25. I thought some of the switching actually helped us to get out of center field and allow him to he kind of just kept getting to his spots and raising up and, switching and throwing a couple of the double teams at him. I thought threw him off his rhythm. The guys, chasing Duncan Robinson off is a task, and Tobias Harris in the post. But, for the most part, I think we did a lot of really good things. Can't wait to watch it.
So that was some of the things that Charles Lee said. I agree with everything he said to where he said they was holding Cade Cunningham in check. Because this motherfucker was going off. Every time I looked up, the ball was going to the damn net. But what you think about that, Pope? What did you hear from Charles Lee? Any key takeaways?
Go ahead, Dex. I'm gonna pass it to Dex. I want to hear what Dex got to say.
Well, it seemed like to me he's back on cold, and he basically is self-apologizing for his aberrant behavior. We know that Charles Lee normally don't explode in that manner, so he's trying to get everything back into perspective and get the ball back rolling the way he had designed it coming out of the locker room. So I don't know if we're going to see this again anytime soon from Charles Lee, but nevertheless, they did at certain portions of the game flight had Cade Cunningham pretty subdued. And once Jalen Dern start taking over, now they have to focus their attention to Jalen Dern as well as Duncan Robinson. Remember, then Cade Cunningham just start going off again because that created a lot of space and opportunity for Cade to do his thing when Duncan Robinson was dominating and when Jalen Dern was definitely dominating for that portion where Cade Cunningham had disappeared. And then once Cade Cunningham got his motor back going, it was unstoppable for him. 33 points, damn near a triple-double, and it was just all bad for the Charlotte Hornets once Cade Cunningham figured out that Jalen Dern and Duncan Robinson have created lanes for him to just drive to the rack.
Yeah, good point there. It is what it is. I mean, we have to see Cade. They got to do something about Cade Cunningham, especially if they face them potentially in the first round, because I do see a situation like that. The way things is going, they may face off in the first round by default. I'm telling you, the Pistons got a nice little separation up top. And like I said, even though the Hornets, it looked like they may go on a little slide, the bottom of the East, like I said, the Bucks, they're gonna quit. They're gonna punt this season. I just feel like we're one game away from them just going full tank mode. And then it's really the Bulls. So all they really have to contend with is possibly the Bulls trying to compete for that spot. And they lost damn near their whole team. I mean, are they really supposed to make the playoffs? So the Hornets just got to keep doing what they do. And I think that they should be in the play-in at the very least. Whether they get to the playoffs, that's up to them. But the play-in looks to be for certain at the very least. Pope, any takeaways from what Charles Lee had to say or just anything involved in this whole situation?
Yeah. Like Dex explaining, man, it sounds like he just flipped his lid really for no reason. Because he just said, because the ref called a call that were barely Grant Williams didn't really foul somebody. Like, come on, man. You lost your I don't know, man. I just think that's all. It's all good. I'm not I'm not going to hate on the man or downplay his importance to him coaching. But that's what I'm saying. He got to understand, bro. They gonna need you more than ever. You done lost 2 of your starters. That starting lineup been 15-1. Now it's 15-2 because but they didn't get to finish out the game. They possibly could have went 16-1 last night. That starting lineup. Now you're losing 2 of those. You don't put yourself in position to where they gonna end up can possibly lose you too. Because then you really gonna be because he could have possibly got suspended. He could possibly get suspended for that. 'Cause to the point where you trying to y'all saying he was trying to get at the refs, not just got attacked. Like I can see if he just got attacked, maybe cuss man, what the hell you doing? That was a bogus ass call. Fuck you, and leave it at that. But to hear that he needed to be held back. Like, come on, man. Are we trying to fucking win or not? Like, and I'm not talking about that game. I'm talking about, are we trying to, like what Flight said, we trying to get to this play-in and not the 10th seed, but we got to actually get into at least the 7th, 8th seed to where we got a home game come play in, which Hornets ain't never had with LaMelo Ball. And then you have more of a likelihood because you not just one loss. Even if you lose as a 7th seed, you still got another game that you can make up for. So, like, you ain't got no time for the BS. Leave the BS at the door. At the end of the day, he's a professional. And so he need to act as such, especially being a leader of men.
I got a question for you because Duncan Robinson is getting ran through the mud right now because he didn't do anything. People are saying that he basically left his teammates hanging. What should somebody do in a situation like that? Should they pull what Duncan Robinson did, where he just looked at everything and turned his back and said, "I ain't doing shit," or do you get in the middle of it? Like I said, Con Knipple got in there. He didn't get physical, but he was holding people back. What do players supposed to do in a situation where punches are thrown and shit? What happens? What do you do?
I mean, listen, Duncan Robinson, if his teammates know him, if he's a non-confrontational type of guy, which I guess he showed last night, and he's always seemed to be before he even showed that. It's one thing if your whole team is fighting and you not, but it was just really Jalen Durant and then Miles Bridges escalating it, and then Beef Stew coming over to rectify Miles Bridges nonsense. And so yeah, I don't look at Duncan Robinson no type of way for that. I'm just looking at the Hornets. I'm a little pissed with the Hornets and now even the coach in a sense, because you got players like a Miles Bridges who is important to the team. You got to lead by example. You can't go back to the locker room early with him and slap it up like, yeah, fuck them niggas, man. I like that shit. You did that. That's what you supposed to. No, nigga. You supposed to go at the end of the game and say, Miles, man, what the fuck, man? Nigga, we trying to do something, and you put yourself in a situation to where ain't no telling how many games we lose you for.
Yeah,
That's
you're right
that's
about
my
that.
thing.
No, you got to. I agree with you. They got to do. They got to do a little bit better than that. Point blank. Period. Dex, what do you think about that? About the way Duncan Robinson handled things? Because, like I said, what do you agree with the way he handled that shit?
No, I do not agree with the way Duncan Robinson handled it. He handled it like, man, there's a pack of niggas out there just fucking up shit. That's the way he looked when the camera panned on him and the way he waved off that situation. Like, man, they fucking up shit. You know what I'm saying? And then for him to be a Caucasian, it really looks bad. It was bad enough when Lonzo did it. When Lonzo was in that situation, he kind of just walked away, and he didn't give no disposition, or he didn't give no body posture. All Lonzo did was just walked away. And while his team was, when he was a Laker, while his team was in battle, right? So Duncan Robinson, the way he looked at you, I mean, he looked back at it and then he gave that facial expression like, "Hey, look at these fucking niggas, man, these fucking jungle bunnies." You know what I'm saying? And really, this is why people is on Duncan Robinson. It's not that he wasn't non-confrontational, it's how he expressed his disgust at what was going on. And, Black History Month and all this type of stuff, it does not look good for any Caucasian to give that kind of disposition when something like that is going on. Now, Duncan Robinson, if he wasn't confrontational, he could hold people back. I mean, those his teammates, right? He can try to, say, "Hey, come on, guys, no, come on, let everybody back to the sideline," or whatever. Feel me? He would just you just have to see it. You have to actually see the highlights of him and the way he expressed himself and the way his demeanor was when that happened. Like a pack of wolves, you know what I'm saying, just fucking up the game. We winning. Now we don't know who's going to get thrown out or who's going to get suspended. And Charlotte might have an opportunity to come back. He was more on that type of time, it appears to me.
Yeah,
I
I,
see
I, I
that.
agree.
See, Dex, I feel you, but I disagree. I'm like,
Did
bro,
you see Duncan Robinson?
No, what you just told me, from what you just explained,
You got
Duncan
to see it,
Robinson,
though.
but he was right. Them niggas is degenerates. And ain't who else I'm gonna hold back? The only one that's coming out here and trying to fight. Nobody was trying to fight on the Pistons except for Isaiah Stu. What's the name? Wasn't even trying to fight. Jalen Duran walked away. He wasn't even trying to fight no more. Like he did what he did,
He
and
ran
then
for his life. He didn't walk away.
He
He ran
was
for his life.
retreating. Go ahead, Paul.
Yeah,
yeah,
it was
right, whatever you want to call it. So who all is he's supposed to be trying to hold back? It's already a million Pistons on the floor holding people back. And right, you got to look at it like you fucking degenerates. Because again, bro, what are we doing? Are we playing basketball? Are we boxing? What we doing? Because he came to play basketball. So same as Kay Cunningham, Nipple, all of them dudes. All that trying to be tough. Fuck all of that trying to be tough. If something goes down and it's multiple guys going at it, then that's a different situation. But it was only one guy who was trying to really go at people, and two guys, because Devontae was trying to get at Jaden Durant, but then you had Miles Bridges insert himself into the ring when he didn't get tagged. Devontae didn't tag that nigga like WWF and they teammates and tag you in, come on into the scene. No, he just inserted himself without even being tagged. And the Pistons, nobody else was trying to fight none of the other Hornets. It wasn't like other Pistons was trying to fight. They was trying to hold back Isaiah Stu. That's a big boy. And you got 5, 7, 10 motherfuckers trying to hold him back. What do little old white Duncan Robinson need to do? And like, come on, man. I don't get that.
Yeah, I feel you on that. I mean, what can Duncan Robinson do? But it just appeared from when the camera was on him, because he was the lone white boy besides Con Nipple on the floor, because Colt Brenner wasn't on the floor. So it was just Duncan Robinson and Con Nipple. Con Nipple was in the thick of things, trying to get his team back focused, pushing everybody. I mean, pushing players, getting them back, trying to do some separation. And Duncan, and his thing was, I mean, you just had to see it. It was like, man, I'm not messing with you pack of niggas, because y'all fucking up. Y'all finna destroy the whole thing.
Exactly. What's wrong with that?
You know what I'm saying? No, that's what I'm saying. I don't have no problem with Duncan Robinson, because that's his character. That's what he represents. But Con Nipple was different. Con Nipple was holding players back, trying to get players accountable, screaming, and trying to get some attention going in the right direction. Con Nipple just didn't like, you know what, man, I'm not messing with this. I'm good. No, he was trying to settle things and de-escalate the situation.
Because it was his teammates that was tripping. It wasn't Duncan Robinson teammates that was tripping. It was he was trying to hold Devontae back, probably, And he trying to Miles Bridges. Now he trying to hold the Devontae, and now next thing you know, he see Miles over here. Now he got to run over. Come on, Miles. God damn. Like, believe you me, the Knipple family got on the phone and said, these fucking homes. As soon as you a free agent, my nigga, we getting the fuck out of
Nah, bro. Nah, don't
we
do
getting the
that.
fuck out of here.
Nah, you interjected right
Yeah,
there.
we ain't with that.
I think his dad, who was a professional basketball player himself, was like, "Way to go, son! One for all and all for one."
We getting it.
You got to grab somebody, though, in my opinion. You got to look like
Yes,
you're doing
sir.
something.
Yes,
Even if
sir.
you don't
That's
do
right. You
nothing,
ain't
go
gotta
out
fight,
there and say,
but
chill
just
out,
hold
man,
somebody
chill.
back.
Go out there, grab a jersey or something. Yeah, put a hand
It's
on
one
it.
thing if it's multiple of your teammates trying to fight. Nobody on the Pistons was trying to fight except for Isaiah Stewart.
Can't say
So it's
that.
not.
I can't say that because it was a melee. It was so much.
Coaches,
it was so many
everybody
people on
was
the
out
court.
there.
Yeah, coaches, everybody. I mean,
But they weren't
they
trying
were
to
just
fight. They
crazy.
was trying to de-escalate. That's
So,
what I'm
yeah,
saying.
it's possible. It's possible. I'm just saying though. I just believe Duncan Robinson should have just been more involved as far as trying to hold his team back. You ain't got to pursue none of the Hornets, but hold your team back. Make sure Jalen Duren, you know what I'm saying, is good. He's safe, you know, because Jalen Duren, he retreated to the point where he was out of the screen. We didn't even see him in the screen anymore. Let's say Duncan Robinson could have went over there and just
So he
hold
was
him
holding
by the
himself
waist.
back then. He
Yeah,
didn't need
he
to
was
go hold
very
him back.
restrained, self-restraint. Yeah, he was self-restraint. I give Jalen Duren that. He saw Musa Diabate, that French Nigerian, lose control. You know what I'm saying? Because he felt that he was provoked by getting smushed. I mean, how do you handle a French Nigerian who loses top? Who lost his whole helmet on that play? And it was just mad crazy because Musa Diabate has been one of the most calmer players from the Hornets throughout this win streak.
I don't blame Moose for reacting the way he did. Not one bit. You get your face smushed, you're supposed to try to smush their face even harder than what they did to you. So I don't fault him at all. Damn. And so you know, I don't get with that. The we have the Hornets have a reputation of having a lot of degeneracy going on, and Miles Bridges has been a part of this franchise since this reputation has been what it's been, and Isaiah Stewart has a reputation as well, and so you know, I like it for the future matchups to see will all cool heads prevail. Will they just toughen it out on the court and play basketball, or will they try to brawl again? You know.
Well, we know that Miles Bridges has the potential to have fluids in his body that's unbecoming. And I'm not talking about lemonade. You feel me? So we don't know what juiced him up to feel like he had to protect the way he had to protect.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because we gonna end up losing him off of basically nothing that he wasn't even a part of, and he just inserted himself. Like again, I said the first push that he gave him, Miles Bridges gave Durant. I'm smooth with that. After that, Durant is already going back towards his bench. And it ain't no need for you to come around the crowd and yeah, and do all of the things acting like you want to fight him. It just went too far, in my opinion. And because I want to see these Hornets, they have a potential squad to actually make some noise. Even in the playoffs. I believe if they get to the play-in and they got that 7 seed, that they will get to the playoffs and possibly face a Detroit Pistons, which I think they could play. Now, Lamelo didn't play like I needed him to play last night. He sometimes it's like when you facing a Cade Cunningham, a cat that's been kind of what do you call it, compared to you and saying he's a little better than you nowadays and all of that type of stuff. Because I still think Melo is the best in the league guard, the best point guard in the league. And so when you got this head-to-head, bro, you supposed to go crazy. K went crazy. What did LaMelo have? 20 what? What do he have? I don't even know.
I'm going to double check, but I believe he had
Yeah,
20.
I think he had 20.
33.
I think he had 20. He didn't have more than 22.
And it's been a while since he's had a 30 piece.
Yeah, like 20,
Cade was
29,
with
9
his triple dub, Pope. Cade had 33, 9, and 7, and a steal.
Mm-hmm.
LaMelo had 20 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists. I'm not gonna fault Melo, but I was one of them people saying, "Damn, I wish Melo would have upped it a little bit more." You know,
it's hard to fight.
They would have won. What you think, Pope? I mean, Dex, because I see.
Yeah, let me kind of defend LaMelo a little bit. Normally, I don't.
Of course, you're gonna defend LaMelo. That's crazy. The fact that you're about to try to defend 24 and 4, that's nuts.
I know. Hold on for a second. I normally don't defend LaMelo.
Trash.
You guys already know that. I always try to defend Lonzo because Lonzo is more of a lame duck. The LaMelo game speaks for itself. You don't even have to defend LaMelo, right? So, but the thing of it is that when you play in a team like Detroit and they got a player like Cade Cunningham on one side and then you have LaMelo Ball on one side, Detroit is such a physical team, it will wear on the Hornets star way more than the Hornets can wear on the Detroit Pistons star. And that I can give LaMelo some kind of credence to why it was difficult for him to even crack 20, because it was hard for him to even get 20. He struggled to get that 20. You follow what I'm saying? And even Brandon Miller, I think he had like 24 or 20, 22, or Khan had 21 or 22. It was difficult for them to get into that 20 mark. You know what I'm saying? And kind of once they got in that 20 mark, it was difficult for them to even expand because of the physicality they was receiving on offense. And then they tried to return it on defense. And LaMelo had 5 freaking fouls and had to be removed from the game in the latter part of the third quarter. So coming into the fourth quarter and halfway through the fourth quarter, LaMelo was on the bench based on that.
LaMelo be playing soft at times, man. He's still light in the ass. It's year 5. It's no more excuses. Bro, like, grab your nuts. You got all these tattoos. You can't take physicality. You got tattoos from your fucking neck on down, and you can't take no physicality. My nigga, like, at some point, and you 6'8". You 6'8", Melo. And I know y'all be listening, Ball family. The nigga 6'8". And his daddy is physical as they come. I don't understand this soft-ass way of playing that LaMelo be playing like recently, lately. I'm like, bro, you was tougher when you, and I don't know if it's because of the injuries. Could be because of the injuries. But if that's how you're going to play, my guy, then you're digressing. You're not progressing. And I don't like that because you're in year 5 and you're not playing as physical as you was when you was in year 1.
Right.
And I don't like that.
I think everybody got claims because everybody's been following LaMelo. You know, like I said, Pope, there's no question. The way you've been knowing LaMelo's game. So you got some points there. But if you've been evaluating this season, I was asking myself these questions too. Like what you're saying is like, what's going on with LaMelo? LaMelo seems to be bought into this system with Charles Lee. He's just, like I said, he's just giving the ball up. Like I said, I've noticed that too. Like if you look at LaMelo's numbers, I believe he averaged 24 last year. He's averaging 19 points per game this year. He's down in points. I'm just keeping it where I mean. So, and they're winning. So that's what I'm saying. Something's telling me that he is completely brought in. And I mean, and it's times where he's not even playing all that in the fourth quarter. If they were pulling away in games, Charles Lee will leave his ass on the bench the whole game. I mean, that's what I've noticed with LaMelo. Like going back to, like I said, last year he averaged 25 points per game. The year before that, it was 23. This season is an all-time low in points at 19. He didn't. I thought maybe Melo go up to 27 or some shit. That seemed like the trajectory he was on, you know. But less seems to be more. And he is passing the ball. He's giving it up to these guys. He's allowing Khan to take over, Miller to take over. He's not saying, you know, man, fuck all y'all. Give me the ball. I'm doing it. If one of these dudes is rolling, they'll play through him. You know, and that's what I'm seeing differently from LaMelo Ball. You might look at it as he being passive and look like he ain't being aggressive. But I mean, as I watched, that's when I know Charles Lee has got him playing like that, you know, and it's been resulting in wins. So I haven't been able to really go crazy. What you think about that, Dex? How LaMelo
Yeah, I
Ball
mean,
is playing?
Pope has the point. I mean, it's a combination of things. If we go back and revisit some of the early portion of the season, LaMelo was 25-8. Don't forget that. And then he got that little injury, and that scared everybody. And so since then, he's been kind of shadow playing basketball. So it's probably a combination of him with trying to save himself to go finish the season and the physicality that most teams use against LaMelo. You heard what Lonzo Ball said about it. Melo don't like to be touched, and teams know this. So Melo got to get that out of his head that I'm not a diva out here. I'm a player, and these guys are here to stop me, but I got to show a will that over their skill to stop me. And once he really put that into gear and not think about injuries, I think we'll see that 25-8 LaMelo or even a 30-8 LaMelo.
Yeah, I just now it's cool. Like they starting to win now, and I'm not even talking about his points. Like if your points dip off the way they've dipped off because they've taken a dip, they went skinny dipping. Then your assist should be rising. Your assist total should be going up. He should easily be in 10, 11, 12 assists. If you're going to dip off from 24, 25 points a night to 19, then nigga, your assists better risen. And I don't see that. And I still see him getting pushed around on defense. So that's why I'm not just talking about offensively. I thought by year 5, he would have his grown man body, and he don't look like he's bulked up. So to me, it don't look like he in that weight room the way he should be in that weight room. You know, when Jordan was getting pushed around by the Pistons and nobody else, just for the Pistons, because he knew he was going to have to see them in them playoffs, he told himself, I got to get stronger. I got to get bigger. And he did. And LaMelo's still soft. And I'm like, bro, I can't cap for you, sir. I got to just be frank about the situation. And when games like this, when you playing against a Thompson and a Cade who compared you as far as like who's the nicest point guards, nigga, you got to show up. And especially when your 2 starters go down and you only down 8. Because when all of that shit happened, the Hornets was only down 8. And Melo did hit 2 threes. But nigga, you looking too cute. At some point, when you going to start going to get the 3 the hard way and forcing the refs to blow the whistle? So I'm just like, bro, when you play against a Cade Cunningham or you play against Luka or you play against any of these top-notch Jamal Murray, you got to show up for them games. It used to be epic when Jordan coming to face Reggie Miller. Both of them motherfuckers were going to give you a show. Do you hear me? Or Jordan versus even John Starks. Like, it's like they raised their game and their level of play and their intensity because of the matchup. And so when I see Melo look across and say, oh, they call you you the next, okay, I'm finna bust your ass. But instead, it was Cade busting ass and handing out L's and LaMelo taking it.
Now you mentioned Michael Jordan in your soliloquy. The only thing that I will basically separate myself from is that Michael Jordan, when he was going up against the Pistons in Boston and those teams that was in New York Knicks that was being heavily physical with him, he had other players on his side that was physical as well, like the Cliff Livingston and the Charles Oakleys of the world to help balance some of that. And then once he got the Scottie Pippins, who had skill, maybe not as physical, but who had skill to ride along with Jordan, then it was definitely a wrap, right? Because you can put Scottie Pippen on the best player of the other team and give Jordan a little break, even though Jordan could handle his defensive responsibilities, give him a break and let Jordan just soar off into the sunset. So it was a little different dynamic because the Charlotte Hornets don't have a player like that since LaMelo been in a Charlotte Hornets uniform, where LaMelo could be protected to the degree that Jordan was protected, because you had Charles Oakley, Cliff Livingston, and even the Mr. Elbow himself. What's that crazy center name that those used to throw them damn elbows and cut you up? Cartwright. They had Bill Cartwright. So they had some bully deterrence themselves, and Charlotte really don't have that. The only one that's kind of close to that is Grant Williams, and Grant Williams, he's playing on one leg practically, and he done turned himself into mainly a 3-point shooter.
I don't know why you just brought up all them other people when it's LaMelo who needs to get stronger. Nigga, and ain't got nothing to do with it's same thing with Jordan. And Jordan got stronger for Jordan to dominate when he played the Pistons, not because he could take a breather. No, so when he fly through the air and they try to knock him out the air, he could take that hit and continue through and power through. Shout out to Hoops. So again, bro, you making excuses, and the solution is get your little ass in the weight room, little nigga, because you still like a little nigga out here, and you got tattoos from here down, looking like a fucking degenerate, and you playing like a bitch from time to time. I keep it frank. I can't, and it's disgusting because I know he could play more physical than that. When I see his little frail ass body in year 5. I'm like, nah, nigga, you ain't hitting the weight room. You should be cut up. You should be. Do you see Debate? When that nigga on, he like a robot. LaMelo, he don't got to get all to where he can't move. I ain't talking. Even Kobe. Kobe, if you ever seen Kobe, I'm sure you have, Dex, seen Kobe in person. That nigga look like RoboCop. His shit was so solid and everything, and niggas bouncing off him. He wasn't overly muscular. But when you could see that nigga in person, you like, God damn, this nigga's a fucking monster.
They call that Bruce Lee strength.
So Melo need to go and grab that Bruce Lee strength and get it going. Because again, that's how you're gonna stop from getting all these injuries as well, sir. If you can bounce people off of you instead of you bouncing off people.
Good point there. Like I said, LaMelo did. I mean, he did come in there and get his weight up. I don't know if you noticed. He did look like he came into training camp a little bit muscular. Now, was he to Diabate muscular? That's another conversation. But like you said, he don't have to get cut up, swole. But I thought that he came in a little stronger. Dex, wasn't there reports that he was he got a little stronger?
Yeah, he definitely got a little stronger. He gained like about 9 pounds in that off season. So was reported. But the thing about it is that strength is cool, right? Because look at how strong Orlando Woolridge was, right? But his game didn't translate to that of a Michael Jordan or even a Scottie Pippen or Charles Barkley. Barkley wasn't in the weight room, but Barkley had his country strength. You follow what I'm saying? I just think that LaMelo needs to not worry about the non-call. I think that's what gets him more than anything and takes him out of his game. You have players like that. Even when I could recall playing basketball and just recreational basketball, not nothing organized, just recreational basketball. And you got guys that are scouted, right, in the rec. So they say, hey man, Dex, this guy right here hates the he hates to getting fouled. So just kind of harass him, just be up on him and frustrate him and try to, take him out of his game. You know what I'm saying? And then you got guys like that, right? And then they'll tell me like, damn, little man, why you on me like that, man? This ain't the NBA. Why you so serious? Well, the reason why I'm serious on you is because the captain that picked me told me to do this. In order for me to stay on this team and on the court, if we win, is that I got to do what they say because my skill level ain't up to par at some of you guys' skill level. So I got to do the little nicks and dannies and that other people won't do. And I think that's what happens. They put players on Lamelo to do these things, to irritate him, to frustrate him. And he has to be more mentally strong to overcome that. And that's why I said his will have to be stronger than the other opponent's skill.
Good point there. Like I said, everybody making some good points for Lamelo. So what happens against Atlanta tomorrow? Give us a preview, Pope. Do you see the Charlotte Hornets winning that game, or do you see Atlanta? Because they did just beat Atlanta, I believe. What was it? The game before this one, if I'm not mistaken. What do you see? Because I believe that the suspensions will be handed down at some point tomorrow. Miles Bridges and Diabate will not take the floor for the Charlotte Hornets, or I think they're gonna have everything sorted out at some point tomorrow. How do you see this game shaking out with the Hawks and Hornets?
I still believe Moose may have action at not getting suspended because he didn't throw no punches. He didn't get to him. They held him back. He attempted, but they held him back. His main thing he did was head to head when he bumped, and then he got ejected for that. So he could probably possibly get a fine. And since he definitely don't have no history of doing nothing of the sort, they might take that in consideration. But Miles, I think for sure, is getting suspended. If LaMelo, if he ain't got somebody who physical guarding him, because that's what I've noticed. Anytime somebody physical guard LaMelo, he not LaMelo. Anytime he got a little nigga guarding him, then he goes hard. And that's just, to me, that shit is lame. But I don't know who the Hawks guard. It ain't Trae Young, right? Where's Trae Young at? Anyway.
Trae and Washington. I think they got Johnson out there.
Johnson is
I think, did he make the All-Star team? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Johnson. He's
I know.
good.
Yeah, he's an All-Star. Jalen Johnson.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, when Melo play against cats that's not like a Amon Thompson or just physical guards who the same height as him as well, he seemed to best them. So I'm not sure who Atlanta Hawks got, but I still got Hornets to win that game because the Atlanta Hawks is the Atlanta Hawks. So, and we got Khan the Don at the end of the day. He the real leader of the Hornets, Khan the Don.
Well, I mean,
if the Hornets could win tomorrow, like,
right. Yeah, you think so?
If the Hornets could win tomorrow, they would be the 9th seed. They would be a half a game up of Atlanta, right. And they would be the 9th seed. And if they could maintain the 9th seed, which it would be difficult, they will host a first play-in. They will be. They will.
I don't believe. Do they host in the play-in? I don't think so. I think you got to get the 7.
No. 9 and 10 play against each other, and 9th seed will be the host.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. 7 and 8 play against each other.
No. 7 plays against 10. 8 plays against 9, sir.
Oh, okay. I thought 9 and 10 play that, and then that person's eliminated, and then 7 and 8 play. Even though 7 and 8 may lose, they still have another game.
Yeah, no, 7 and 8 still have another game, and that's if they lose to 9 and 10.
Yeah, and they got home. They're gonna have 7 and 8. Gonna have home court advantage.
Because hold on 1 second. Let's now. I don't know if they changed the format, but originally it was 9, 10, 7, 8.
Say drop the link.
It's in there. Hoop. The link is in there. I seen Flight do it.
Okay, I didn't see.
You follow what I'm saying? Because 7 and 8 used to play each other and 9 and 10, because that was a first round elimination. Whoever lost that game was automatically out, and then the winner moves on to play the loser of 7 and 8. The winner of 7 and 8 automatically jumps into the eighth seed. The 7th seed, excuse me. The winner of 7 and 8 automatically jumps to the 7th seed, and then the loser of 7 and 8 play the winner of 9 and 10, because that means everybody's eliminated, whoever loses. And then that winner goes into the 8th seed. That's how the play-in was.
You might be right. You might. I can't say I'm 100% sure. But I would think that it'll go 7 versus 10. If 7 loses to 10, they get to play again, and 10 moves up to, depending on what happens with 8 and 9. Because if 7 loses, hold on, Dick. If 7 loses to 10, then they get to wait. And if 8 beats 9, then they move to 7 automatically. And then whoever was 8, they have to go play whoever was 7. And then they battling for the 8th seed. See what I'm saying? So I don't know. I mean,
it's 8 and 7. It's 8 and 7. They play, and the winner advance to be the 7th seed. And then the loser of that game play the winner of 9 and 10.
Just Google it. All you got to do is Google it. All you got to do is actually Google, how does the play-in format work? That's all you got to do. It'll tell you.
They need to get multiple opportunities. They do need to continue to elevate the standards, because we already see, and that's another thing. I know that the Hornets, we looked at them like shit, but if we start to look at them as the playoff play-in scenario, we got to go back to what they look like in the first 2 play-ins of LaMelo Ball's career. Remember, he made the play-in to his back-to-back years. And they got ran the hell up out the fucking arena, on both of those games. So the home court advantage would bode well. Don't we both agree? All of us agree with that?
Yeah, home court.
Yes,
but with the Hornets, with the Hornets, I don't know, because they don't even get calls. They don't get no home cooking, man, and that's terrible.
Well, Dex, you've been saying that shit for years.
Hey, Dex, that's right.
Don't get no calls. Khan, they're gonna take care of Khan, though, Dex. I noticed they're gonna blow that whistle for Khan. They ain't gonna let you get too physical with Khan Knipple. I don't know if you noticed that.
7th place team hosts the 8th place team. The winner becomes the 7th seed. The loser advances to game 3. Game 2, 9. So Dex is right. 9 versus 10th seed. 9th place team hosts 10th place team. The winner advances to game 3. The loser is eliminated. So Dex was right.
Alhamdulillah.
Okay, well, you were. All I know is that who's get 2 opportunities? Is 7 and 8 those gonna get 2 opportunities?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's all I know. So they need to
because this is why, Flight. When they did the play-in, the reason why they gave the advantage to the 7 and 8 to opportunity to lose is because they automatically would have been a play-in team regardless about the play-in tournament. See, the original format is the first 8 with the best record makes the playoffs. So it was a detriment to the 7th and 8th team who would have automatically been in a playoff series. So that's why they gave them a second opportunity to get into the playoffs and not benefit 9 and 10. And 9 and 10 is only really a second chance team.
Well, I told you, Melo, I told you he like Caitlin Clark, man. He don't get no calls, just like Clark. He don't get no pub. He got to get it out the mud. But he better get it. He plays soft too. He get a refs an easy out. He do. But that's neither here nor there. We'll see. They need that 7 seed, and hopefully they can get it. I think they can handle business versus Atlanta tomorrow. I don't feel like Devontae will be suspended.
Wow. Dex, what do you think about that? Do you really think Diabate is gonna make it out of this? I just think he gonna be collateral damage.
No, he's not collateral damage. He is the initiator. Diabate initiated that because he headbutted Jalen Duren, and Jalen Duren retaliated with the smush. So Jalen Duren, he's punished as well as Musa Diabate. There's no way you can allow Musa Diabate to escape this fracas when he headbutted, because he walked into Jalen Duren. You remember that? He walked into him after he fouled him. Jalen Duren had something to say. Musa came and walked towards him and headbutted him. And then that's on the retaliation. He got smushed in the face, and then he lost it. Musa lost it. So on that account alone, the NBA is going to look at that and say, this was all initiated by the headbutt and the retaliation from Jalen Duren. So both of them going to get suspended. And then we already know with Miles. That's obvious, right? That's Captain Obvious with Miles and running around like a monkey off a leash. You know what I'm saying? Looking for trouble, like the man is drinking something other than lemonade or mountain spring water. Miles is out there on that, what's that, RBT or RTB or whatever that thing is that he got going on. Miles trying to make another record. He trying to get some bars up out of that. He said StreamYard won't let him join.
I sent it to.
Oh yeah, no, he didn't know. Devontae did not headbutt him first. I'm looking at it right now. He walked up to him, and Durant put his head down, and he put his head down along with him. Durant put his head down first. I'm looking at it right now.
Oh, he put his head down first?
Yes, he put his head down first. And again, Moose has no priors. He walked up to him, though, after he fouled him. Moose did walk up to him, and Durant did like this, and Moose did like that, too, and then got smushed in the face. So I think they'll look at that like, yo, because two people just going like this to each other, because it wasn't a head butt. So if you just head to head and talking a little shit, I don't even think that's an ejection. But when you get smushed in the face and then I react the way he reacted, I think the league is going to be able to say, okay, because this kid, he doesn't do nothing to start no shit. And so he's really just reacting. And yes, he overreacted, but he got ejected for overreacting. And, I think he might get a nice fine for sure. He's not getting off scot-free. He's going to get a fine, but I don't think, because he already got ejected. So I don't think it's suspension. Let's do again. I definitely could be wrong. I mean, for sure.
Well, Pope, listen to this part, though. Musa was swinging. You can't swing. You can't take a swing at another player.
Yeah, you can. If you don't connect, then I mean, he didn't never connect.
That's the act of fighting.
I mean, true. So you can say off of that swing he didn't cost himself. I mean, I can see them maybe saying that off the swing, and then the extras he was doing, it took damn near the whole stadium, the whole nigga.
Yeah, they don't want to see that, Pope. And let me shine light on this. It was only dark-skinned Negroes out there in that fisticuff. The light skins was nowhere to be found. It was like, hell no, it's too many dark skins in that melee. I ain't going nowhere near that.
Yeah, shit, man.
Yeah, I ain't going nowhere. It's colorism. Yeah, I ain't going nowhere near that. The light skins. Look, where was Kay? Where was Lamelo? Where was Josh Green? You feel me? Them dudes was nowhere to be found. Even Grant Williams. Them darkies was out there, and hey, look, Caucasians do not want to see dark skin anger. They do not want to see that. That is frightening. So these niggas finna get suspended. Adam Silver finna make an example out of these. That behavior will not be accepted. It was no light skins, no white boys, none of that involved in that. So no slack, no mercy. Throw the book at them.
Yeah.
We got All-Star break coming in. Also, I want to bring up something. Somebody was like, what's up with Jalen Duren with the All-Star game? Because I think that you think Adam Silver and the NBA going to allow him to play in the All-Star game? I think he's going to be fucked for that, too. What do y'all think?
That
No.
doesn't have anything to do with the regular season.
Yeah,
That's
I
an
know, but come on, you gotta have
exhibition.
this guy just throwing punches and shit in the All-Star game.
No, that ain't. They're not going to remove him from the All-Star game. That's different.
Okay, we gotta
You
find
know what I'm
Adam
saying?
Silver. Gotta come. He gonna
Because you
come
can't.
down, man.
If you get suspended from the All-Star game, it doesn't cost you anything. So in order for this to be a deterrent to that bad behavior, Adam Silver have to suspend him during a regular season game, which was cost him out of his check.
Yeah, it's just it's unfortunate, man. I was liking what the Hornet what they was doing. I was really hoping that they could have kept this rolling. And you know, I know, it's hard when you got somebody smushing you in your face. But like Flight brought up good reporting knowing that they had history since high school, those two, Durant and Musa. So, that's good reporting because nobody knew that for real. And something might have stemmed from even that. And yeah, but
Yeah,
we'll see.
something's definitely going on. They have history. I couldn't believe that. So it let me know, like, damn, now I see what all this was truly about. And I hope more and more of that comes out. I haven't heard anybody speak on that. These two faced off in high school, so it's crazy.
Did they have an issue?
I'm about to double check the footage. But all I know is they had history dating back to high school where they actually played against each other.
Yeah, they was in love with the same high school sweetheart.
Yeah, see, I don't know all.
No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
I know Melo better grab his nuts tomorrow. They said Daniels guarding him. Yeah, he be cooking Daniels. He be cooking him. So I think Melo, if you listening, bro, or LeVar, tell it, bro, you better grab his nuts tomorrow and he better show the fuck up, man. This nigga ain't scored a 30-point game in I don't know how long. And it's like, nigga, I need you to do something. And if you're not going to give me 30, if you're going to give me 19, you better give me close to 15 assists. I ain't seen a 15 assist game from him neither. Like, I ain't seen him really do. He just been playing his little role, which is smooth because they've been on this winning streak. But I expect a lot more from LaMelo Ball. I do.
Shit. LaMelo Pike thought he was going to get traded. He didn't know how to respond. He thought it was gonna be a Clipper or something, you know what I'm saying? A Rocket.
I need him to start stepping it up. If you're not giving me 30, bro, because you got the scores, and Connor Don and Brandon Miller is scoring that basketball. His shot is falling. It's looking sweet. He trying to do some things, and then you got Debate, which like somebody said earlier in the chat, LaMelo seemed like he definitely has lost a step. Because man, I was just looking at his highlights from his rookie season, the passes, and he used to get to that lane and just drop people off all day. He don't even make the same type of passes no more. He don't do the floater from the free throw line that he was so efficient at. It's so effective. Now it's more, and I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of, bro. You've been doing this shit since fucking find a new goddamn celebration. This shit is every time you score a 3, nigga, you gotta do what the fuck is that? Can you give me something else? Like for real, I'm tired of that shit. The nigga is getting on my nerves, honestly. It's getting on my nerves.
Oh my God. Both having the episode.
He is. He playing like a sucker.
You don't like his 3-point celebration?
Hell no. What's that music? Is that me?
Nah, Dex played that music.
You have an episode right now, Pope.
I mean, it was cool in year 1, year 2, but nigga, we in year 5. You still every single shot. It's one thing if it's here and there, but he hit so many threes. So nigga, shut up. What, dude? Like, how about hit a 3 and just get back on defense? Can you just do that? Hit a 3 and get back on D. Fuck are you doing?
Yeah, good call. Now you making some good points. They definitely gotta step it up though. The Hornets do gotta pick it up. We're gonna find out. But Lamelo, I mean, like I said, this has been one of his better years, despite him going down in points. I just like the success of the Hornets, what they got. They're progressing as a team, as an organization. It's hard for me to show fault in that until otherwise. Well, I got maybe if they was losing, I have something to say, but
Nigga, they got 28 losses. They have been losing.
Well, as of recently, they've been changing the fort. You are right about that. They lost a lot. That's the reason why they was on a 9-game win streak. They didn't shoot up the standings. In any event, if somebody go on a 9-game win streak, goddamn it, you're gonna be at the top of the damn standings after some shit like that. But they gave up so much ground. The 9-game win streak damn near was null and void. It got them to the play-in though. They in the 10th spot now, finally, but they should have been 5th or 4th or some shit like that after a streak like this.
Man, right.
I mean, I can't really, talk crazy about the Hornets right now because they're looking like they're gonna play 82 plus games. And when it looked like they was gonna play 82 games and pack it up to Cancun, I was on my high horse berating the Hornets and talking down on them because it seemed like the cycle continues. But now I gotta eat some form of crow for now. And we're gonna see how the season ends. But I'm hoping that the Hornets get into the playoffs. I want to see Lamelo in playoff mode. I want to see Lamelo even in play-in mode without the Gordon Haywards, without the PJ Washingtons, without the Bismack Biombos, without the Cody Zellers, and definitely without the Terry Roziers. And see how Lamelo holds up. Because as long as Lamelo is not a part of that extended season, people just going to look at him as just a flash in the pan.
Yeah, you got a point there. I think this is the first time I think LaMelo and them, they're gonna get to the playoffs this year. I think they're gonna get some help from the NBA, because that's a lot of money, Pistons, Hornets in that first round. I hope that the NBA they do a little something. They do it for everybody else, So I mean, they need to do a little bit of cooking to manufacture some of these series, for the highest rating. Because seriously, that would be possibly the most viewed series out of all of them if the Hornets and the Pistons played in the first round. It won't get no more exciting, than that, in my opinion. Seriously.
Yes, sir.
Well, I don't know, Flight, because that might be exciting initially, right? To start off the playoffs. But the Knicks and the Pistons, that might be the most watched playoff series this season.
I mean, yeah, you're right. That's the conference finals. You got a point. They seem like they're on the collision course. And I'm not gonna lie to you, the fucking Pistons gonna look like they're going to win. So if they face the Knicks, so I don't know what's going on. Pistons just look good, just point blank period. You can't even say anything about this.
Yeah. I just need Melo to step up as a leader, man, and like, just like how when he came back in that game from the New Orleans Pelicans, when he cracked his eye and he came back and he was downhill. That's the Melo I need to see more often that I'm not seeing. And I'm like, this nigga full of tattoos, and he walk around like he tough, and the nigga be talking to the commentators. He still ain't got no media training. I don't want to hear that Melo is this.
Good point. Good point.
What happened to the Pope?
Yeah, I was about to say. I thought I froze. I was about to say. Me tripping for a second.
Where's Hoop Jargon? I thought Hoop Jargon was coming up.
Well, Hoop Jargon said he was having some problems joining. So shout out to Hoop Jargon. We'll get Hoop Jargon.
Yeah, we haven't heard his voice and his commentary in a minute, about a
Yeah,
year. Huh?
yeah. Hopefully, we should get Hoop Dragon in sometime this week. So make sure you don't touch that dial. Make sure you hit the like button. And most definitely hit the subscribe button. You know, it's Flight Sports. It's so much going on right now. It's not even funny. Um, we are still awaiting the suspensions. You know, potential suspensions of all of the players leading into tomorrow's game and beyond. We still don't know all of the ramifications, but we're gonna find out, y'all. Y'all already know it's Flight Sports. Um, what's going on, Dex, man? Talk to the people.
Yeah, I just want to see the Hornets do good. You know what I mean? I want to be proven wrong. And right now, Purple Baby is up on me, right? Because she said the Hornets would get in, and I said the Hornets won't get in. But matter of fact, we might be even. Me and Purple Baby might be even because I said that the Philadelphia Phillies have a better roster than the Hornets, and she disagreed. And she said the Hornets would make the playoffs, and I disagreed. So we could break even. We could break even. I wish she was here to speak about how she feel about the melee and the fracas that was displayed last night. But like I said, after talking to NBA, the Hornets have stirred a serious pop when it comes to the NBA, and I think they should be rewarded. You know what I'm saying? I think Adam Silver should be happy that a bottom team like the Charlotte Hornets is the talk of the town right now. I mean, you don't hear anything about OKC. You're not hearing much about the Spurs, right? Even though they're doing good. You're not hearing much about what's going on in Houston with Durant, and you're definitely not hearing much about the Lakers, even though Luka is having one of his best seasons. And you're not even hearing much about Detroit. Only reason why Detroit is getting some fame is because what they did to the Knicks in 2 games by 30, by 40. You know what I'm saying? That's how they destroyed the New York Knicks. So they get a little fame based on that. But outside of that, we wasn't hearing much about the Detroit Pistons. You know, Cleveland Cavaliers, they're dumping. The New York Knicks have been, staying afloat, but nobody wants to hear about the Knicks until they get into the finals, a conference finals. So Charlotte Hornets has been a great storyline for the NBA and a Cinderella story that most people have come to enjoy, especially the average Joe. So Adam Silver should take that in consideration, how this is part of the lame duck period of the NBA after the trade deadline, going into the All-Star break, and the Charlotte Hornets have everybody on notice, and they have galvanized interests when normally the NBA would be kind of stale at this time.
Yeah, you're right about that. You know, well, we can't have no stale moments, you know, in the NBA, especially not at this time. But we're gonna find out, Dex. You know, I think that tomorrow is gonna be huge. You know, I think that there's gonna be big ramifications on this game. And we're gonna get a barometer of how the Hornets are gonna look, in my opinion. We're gonna get a barometer. Let's see if they're gonna be able to survive this. And are they a different version of a different squad? Are they a new team, or is it just about to be the beginning of the end? Or what we accustomed to with the Charlotte Hornets? Are they going back to the hapless Charlotte Hornets? They can't figure it out, you know. But something tells me something's changed. You know, Peterson did believe in this team. He could have just shipped everybody out. Everybody's value was pretty high going into this deadline. If he really wanted to be dirty, he could have just said, you know what, y'all getting up out of here. We're gonna put an end to this shit. I've seen enough. You know, they very well could have done that, and he didn't. So I want to hope that something changed, that this is a different basketball team that we're witnessing. I hope so too. Dex, do you think this is a different team, or you think they possibly could go back to the old version?
Well, we'll know when they play Atlanta. Because like I said, they can have a 1-game losing streak, but they can't have multiple game losing streak, not at the stretch that they're entering in, trying to be a bottom competitor. So if they are able to bounce back and get a victory over Atlanta, which will be excellent. But if they can beat Atlanta by 10 or more, that would be a statement win, regardless of the position that Atlanta is in, because both of them are fighting for seeding. Both of them are fighting for respectability. And if Charlotte, coming off of this devastating loss, right, can bounce back and show full resilience and beat Atlanta in double figures, that would be definitely a statement win.
Yeah, you're right about that. Let's see if the Charlotte Hornets could deliver a statement win. I think that'd be crazy if they did, in my opinion. Crazy. But
noble knowledge. Pause. Noble knowledge.
So they should blow out Atlanta, not just win.
Oh, it's
I don't know about blowing them out though. Atlanta can't afford to lose either, so they're gonna play this game. They don't give a shit about what's going on with Charlotte. They hope that is all types of systems. So they can't allow Charlotte to win, despite them being home. Now the Charlotte beat them in Atlanta. Something tells me Atlanta's gonna have to beat them on their home court. I hope that Charlotte could. Is this the last game before the All-Star break?
Is this the last game?
Yeah, before the
I think
All-Star.
so, right? All-Star, what is it, All-Star, the 12th?
I'm not sure.
What is Friday? It starts Friday, right?
I think so. All-Star, I think
Yeah.
starting 13.
Yeah, All-Star weekend starts Friday.
Yeah, you're right about that, yeah. So that's why I said this is going to be a big game.
And yeah, like I said, it can garner them momentum going into the last stretch of the season, which is the second half. Or if they lose, will they be in despair coming out of the All-Star break? Will they have doubt about themselves? And that's you don't want. You don't want the Hornets to go back into that despair mode and spiraling into doubt and not have self-confidence that they belong and they can win any game that's on that 94-foot parquet floor.
Yeah. You ain't lying now, Dax. We're going to find out. Listen, make sure you hit the like button. Most definitely hit the subscribe button. B-Nuck says, got the Houston Rockets after All-Star. Yep, that's a big game. What do you think about that? Hopefully Kobe White will be available.
Yeah, I think he should be. I think he might be available for that because I don't think his injury is that significant. Because if it was that significant, then that deal would have been rescinded, like it was with Mark Williams. And only thing they did was amend it, where the Charlotte Hornets got back a second round pick. So they allow the trade to go through. Just a minor amending, and when you amend something, that means you add to it, just like Black folks was amended to the Constitution. That's wild in itself, but nevertheless, Kobe White should be a spark. And I heard positive reports about Kobe White in the trade to the Charlotte Hornets, that he is happy and ecstatic to be at home. Like,
right. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Listen, man, we're gonna pull back up tomorrow for this game, Dex. Man, it was an honor to be on the live with the people tonight. Make sure you buckle up. Make sure you hit the like button and most definitely hit the subscribe button. You already know what it is. It's Flight Sports TV. Shout out Dex, Pope, everybody that pulled up to the chat. It's going down. Peace out.
Flight Sports TV, man. That's my dude. I rolls with him.
You heard what the man said. It's Flight Sports TV.